What up, what up, what up, what up? It's your girl La, and welcome to another episode of Whatever You Say. And this is your girl La, aka Pillow Talk, bringing you another episode of bi-weekly open perspectives. Okay. And you already know what time it is. This is the time where we go on the Facebook like page and we share this live video to our pages, okay, to our regular pages. So let's get to it. Okay, right now I am on Facebook and I'm going to the Whatever You Say Facebook page. Here we are. Let's go. Okay, there I am. I see my face. Okay, so now I gotta take this. You're gonna press share, and then you're gonna hold on, you're gonna press share, then you're gonna press more options. When you click on more options, just click on copy, and then you go right back to your Facebook page, and you say tune in and copy and tag the link. All right. So I'm tagging the link right now, guys. And we're on. Yes. Okay. We're live. We're live everywhere. All right. So, or you can also go to the YouTube page, Whatever You Say podcast YouTube page. Listen, wherever you feel comfortable, we have people that are subscribing to the YouTube and people that are subscribing to the Facebook. So it's whatever you want to do, whatever you say. Okay. But today we have a great show today, and I have a special guest. When I say special, I mean special. Like, and a lot of people know that I'm from New Jersey, and I've met some special people in my life, and Takia Diamond so happens to be one of them. And she's well known in the community. She has done a lot, but at this time in her life, what she's doing right now is helping a lot of people in regards to what we are going to talk about. But before we get into that, I just want to shout out some people that have sent in some comments from the previous show. So now what I'm doing is uploading comments because I usually get them. I'm like, hey, why not spread some love? So shout out to my girl, Gabby. She was talking about the recent show, which you guys should look into. It was an all males panelist. She said tonight's episode was another one for the books. It was nice to hear from a man's perspective. They felt safe to express themselves on your platform, and I love that for them. There are no limits when you put the effort in to do what you love. All I see is abundance of greatness coming for and from you. Keep it up. You motivate me. Shout out to my girl, Gabrielle, baby. Yes. I love her so much, and I appreciate her for being in my life and for watching my show, because a lot of times we look for our friends to support us, but as I got older, I didn't look for my friends to support me because I don't want to set an expectation so high for them because they have their own lives going on. But to have my friends support me, it is really nice when you do have that support from your friends. But listen, if they can't support you in that moment, don't get upset. But she's just strong about that. She always tell me, no, I'm gonna support my friends. So I appreciate that about her. And shout out to Chuck, who was actually on the show. He said, I'm fringing charge from that. Shout out to you again. Like y'all need to check him out. Chuck All, he was on there. He's an educator, and it was such a good show to have 9 African American males come on the show. No ego, just being themselves and speaking their truth about us. About their perspective on how life is treating them and how we are treating them and how they want to be treated. And that's always a good thing. But without further ado, we're going to talk about spring cleaning, spiritual and mental detoxing. And the best person to talk about it is life coach herself, Takia Diamond. So I'm going to bring her on the show. I want y'all to give a strong hand clap to my girl as I bring her in. Let's get it. Let's get it. Hey, Takia. Hey, Takia. Hey, hey, hey. I can't hear you. We can't hear you, Takia.
Hold on, let me say it again. Hey, hey, hey. Mine's up, everybody. Mine's up.
Mine's up. Mine's up. Never down. Period. How are you? Tell them about yourself. State your name. Tell them about yourself.
Well, first of all, I want to say hello and thank you, my darling LaFrasia, for having me on your show today. Let me explain something to you guys. Me and this woman go way back like spinal cords, okay? And the first thing that I can tell you is that she has always had my back, even when I didn't have my own, even when I didn't want to speak up for myself. Look, Phrase was like, "Oh, I'm going to say something if you don't." But just to tell you guys a little bit about who I am and what I do. My name is Takia Diamond. I am a personal development author, speaker, coach, and trainer in the field of reality transformation and financial psychology. And what I do is I help my clients in 3 areas. I help them to transform their brains, their businesses, and their bank accounts. So if that sounds like something that you are interested in, you definitely don't want to miss this session today. You want to stay all the way to the end because I'm the one that you work with when you're ready to actually prosper on purpose. I'm the one that you work with when you're ready to identify and eliminate the limiting beliefs that have been hindering your success for so long. So I'm so grateful to be here as an author of 10 books and all these other wonderful things that Phrase want me to give y'all a whole list. Listen, I've done movies. I've done movies. You see me in movies. You've seen me in music videos. You see me produce movies. You see me on television shows. You see me do backgrounds for celebrities like Yolanda Adams and Tamar Braxton and Tony Braxton and things like that. So I have a really great track record that has brought me to this space, and which is why I'm here to share with you guys. Since I'm helping everybody else in the world, why not show up to help you?
Period, sis. And I'm so grateful to have you here today. And we have some good questions, which you have confirmed for us to move forward into this interview. So let's get straight to it. Define stress and or depression and the effect it can have on us.
Well, I like to go on experiences, about things to understand on a deeper level why certain things happen. And you gave me a 2-part question, but if I start with one, okay, here we go. Define stress or depression and the effect that it has on us. So first of all, stress comes from the mental mindset that you have of your inability to be able to control an outcome. That's literally where it comes from. And when you're not able to control, let's say, your illness in your body or the behaviors of other people or the circumstances that you're surrounded by when it comes to your work environment or the amount of money that you're making in your business, what happens is your body goes into this thing that we call fight or flight. It is either going to fight and it's going to go, to go to battle, it's going to actually run because it doesn't want to deal with it. But stress is something that we can actually manage. It's more about you being the observer of the triggers that are actually causing you to feel feelings of stress. It is the same thing when we talk about depression, because depression, yes, we understand that depression exists. But if I was to take you on a scientific level and take it deeper, depression is not you. You are not the depression. The depression is the depression itself, and you are your own individual as yourself. Now, if I take you into the part of where you are not depression, I can prove to you that you are not the depression. And I can prove that to you by showing you that depression is just a feeling, right? It is something that you feel. It is something that you experience. It is something that makes you feel extremely low because, again, in your mind, in your body, you feel you don't have a way out. And so these are the things, there are things that happen in your life with all of us that literally trigger these things. But the bottom line is understanding that I am not the depression. I am not the stress. I am not the failure. I am not whatever it is that I experienced in my life that may be triggering me to feel, keyword,
Mm-hmm.
feel distress.
Right.
Because anything that's a feeling, you can change how you feel.
Because
But
it
when
was a
you
choice.
take and when you take ownership and you say, "Oh, I am depressed," you're saying you are the depression and you are not. And so what I feel
Right.
is I feel sad, feel depressed, but is there things that I can do to alter my state of being so that I no longer feel like that on a continuous basis? Can I identify when I'm beginning to feel this way so that I can alter it as it begins to show up? More so I can address it, I can see it, I can acknowledge it for the feeling that it is, and then I can
Right.
address it and I can move on. So that's like
I
a
like
whole in a
No, but I get
nutshell.
it. I get it. It's like you identifying from what I receive from you is identifying the feeling that you have and not taking ownership of it because you are not those things, but those things you are it's
Yes.
a feeling that you can then change it when you find out what it is that's triggering you. So it's like, okay, this is triggering me to be depressed, or this is triggering me to be stressed. So now that I know what the problem is and identifying what it is, now I have full control of how I can change that feeling.
Yes.
Okay, good, good, good. I like that. I like
Yes.
that. Okay. Listen, I've been around you for
And I
some
think
time
that's
now.
probably why I know. I said, and I think that's probably why Phrase probably wanted me to come on and do this subject. Y'all want to know why? Because I offer an alternative perspective than what society teaches you. I offer something to really show you deep down what it really, really is, rather than saying, okay, well, stress is, when you feel certain things in your body. We get all of that. We know all of that. When you stress, your shoulders hurt, your head hurt, your head is aching, it's banging. You can't think straight. We understand that already. We know the symptoms, but what do we do about it? My job is to
Right,
help you understand what it is that you're feeling so that
right.
you can see it as the feeling it is and release it as the feeling it and choose a new feeling that makes you feel good.
Mm, mm, mm. Now, like getting into the next question, please provide examples of things that can block our emotional well-being and how can it be addressed. Now, you kind of touch point on that too. Like you were saying, like the triggers, but what are how can it be addressed? Like even though
That's
we
some things.
we identify it as like how I'll let you answer it from there.
Well, the first thing that we have to do to address anything is to look at the problem, right? So if I look back at your question, let me just go over here real quick. If I look at your question, we have provide examples of things that can block our emotional well-being and how it can be addressed. We think about the things that happen in our daily life. I mean, for example, your job can actually block your emotional well-being, and it may not be the job itself, it may actually be the people that you work with
Per
that
job.
literally block
Hmm.
you block your emotional well-being. Because think about it, if it's a job that and you didn't have other people around you and you was just kind of by yourself and you was knocking it out, you wouldn't be experiencing none of that stuff, right? You would just be good to
Right,
go. You'd be getting your work done. You wouldn't be thinking like, "Oh my God, I don't want to. I don't feel like going to work." You don't want to go because you don't really want to deal with the attitudes and the personalities of the people that are there when you get there. That's the truth. That's the truth
and
about that.
sometimes it's like like sometimes you could be working at a regular job and just don't want to be there because you want to live out your purpose. So like that can be an emotional
Yes.
block as well. It may not be all the people, but a lot of times I feel like that has been my thing at times. It's like I want to get to where I want to be, where I fully want to be, you know, instead of like working a regular job and still pursuing my passion. So and that
Yes.
has been, but I've switched that around and learned to like be grateful for the little things so I can be blessed with the bigger things. Like have that, I had to do a mind shift.
Yes. Yes. Well, let me tell you this. There's nothing wrong with what you feel as far as wanting to make your exit. You are a natural born entrepreneur. And anytime you are a natural born entrepreneur, working for somebody else don't feel good. Even if you're doing it just part time, even if you just like, oh, I'm just going to do this for a month, you'll probably say you're going to do a job for a month, and by the time the second week hit, you like, I can't do this. I can't deal with somebody telling me when to clock in, when to clock out. That messes up your emotional well-being. I
Yes,
cannot stand somebody telling me that I gotta go to lunch at a certain time. I can't stand
yes.
somebody telling me that I can't have my phone out. But if something happens to my child, I need to see my phone. But because of your rules, you're
Uh,
affecting my emotional well-being. So
uh-huh.
that what's happening to you is you're being triggered to exit. It's just letting you know you don't belong here. That's all
Right.
it's doing to you. You don't belong here. So it's saying to you, listen, this is temporary. Keep in mind that this is temporary. So that every day that you go, when you go to work, see yourself that, you know what, this is my business. And what I'm doing is I'm actually helping. Even if you don't see that, this could be someone else's business, but see it from a perspective of, you know what I'm doing is I'm actually just offering my services that I can help them with for the time being. I know that I won't stay with them long enough to turn into their CEO, CFO, or anything like that, because this is not where I belong.
Right. This not
However, I know that if I have the mindset that, you know what, if this was my company, what would I desire from myself? You would still want me to play full out while I'm there, but you will also know, you as an individual knowing that because I know I'm not staying here, I know that I need to be planning behind the scenes for where I'm going, because if I stay here, I'm going to always remain in balance. If my natural being is an entrepreneur, you are never going to feel balanced in a 9 to 5. You're going to always feel ready to go from the time you walk in the door. Always. And
uh-huh.
that's you. But just to share a couple more things about emotional
Yes.
well-being and some ways that I want to do is I give you guys just a couple examples of things that you need to do in order to even just really balance yourself to begin with, right? So I think that I'm going to say, what can you do about maintaining your emotional well-being is to reflect quietly. Is to just start by setting aside some time just for you. Turn the phone off, close the door, head outside, whatever you're gonna do. Whatever it is, it doesn't matter. As long as you're alone and you're taking that time and that quiet space to yourself to actually meditate, perhaps do yoga, just sit quietly with your thoughts. Because a lot of times you cannot hear the solutions that are being want to be presented to you to solve the problem that you have, which would probably be open doors that allow you to make the exit. But if you're not really reflecting on the thoughts that you're having, then what happens is you end up stuck in the same cycle, right?
Right.
Because
Right.
mentally, yeah, so you're not allowing yourself to literally process and see what thoughts am I having that are actually keeping me stuck, because I have the wisdom that what I think about, I bring about. And since
Mm,
I know this, I need to ask myself, what is it that I'm thinking about that if I chose to no longer think that way would change every single thing about my life starting today?
mm,
What is that thought? What is that feeling? What is that emotion? What is that thing that if I let it go, it would let me go? You get what I
Mm,
mean? So
mm.
once, let's go deep, right? So once you're tuned in, you're going to ask yourself, what's holding me back? The answers are within you. If you ask yourself what's holding you back, slowly but surely, little things are going to begin to be revealed to you. That's going to show you what's holding you back. Perhaps like this, what we're doing right now is going to show you some things that may be holding you back, right?
And sometimes laziness is holding people back because they're like, okay, I want to get to this place. But if you're not prepared, if you're not mentally prepared and you're not pushing yourself, you can be holding yourself back. Like when you ask yourself
Yes.
the question, a lot of times you know the answer. Why am I being left back? Because you're holding yourself back. You're the one holding yourself back. You can
Yes.
be there.
So true, so true. And what I would say to you guys after you finish thinking about what it is that's holding you back and asking yourself what it is that's holding you back, what I want you to do is I want you to actually visualize the obstacles that clutter your mind and keep you from achieving your goals. Right?
Mm,
There may
mm,
it may be fears,
yep.
self doubt. Because if we
Mm,
looking at all of the things that cause an imbalance in our emotional well being, here they are: fear,
mhm,
self doubt, insecurity, feelings of
mm,
guilt, feelings of
mm,
shame, feelings of
mm,
regret, feelings of
mm,
resentment. Need I
mm.
go on? Right?
Yes.
Well, these are the things, these are the things, that are preventing you from moving forward. So now you have to step into yourself and say, now hold on now. How do I want to feel?
Mm.
This is the key.
Y'all better be taking
How
notes.
they better be. I'm dropping gems. How do I want to feel? What do I want to achieve? How do I want my relationships to be?
Mm,
What's stopping me from reaching that goal right there? Identify the clutter that's in your path, because that's what's going to help you clear it and push it to the side so that you could walk straight. You look at it and you say, listen, you know what? I'm identifying that I'm holding on to somebody else's emotional baggage. And that's why I'm not moving forward. I'm not moving forward in my own balance, emotional well-being, because I'm too busy trying to balance how somebody else feels based
mm,
on my actions, based on how
mm,
I move,
mm,
or I'm moved by somebody else's actions. Why should I be moved when I understand that your mentality is just not in alignment with mine? So I will not
right.
allow you to balance my emotional well-being at the cost of myself. What is it costing me to lose my emotional well-being? I'd rather lose you than me.
Mm. Ah,
Next thing, banish your negative thinking habits. You gotta banish your negative thinking habits. Listen, you guys, you've identified, we just went through this little thing right here, right? You've identified the ingrained negative thoughts that are holding you back in the last question that I asked you, right? Now, what you need to do is banish them. Y'all know what banish means? Be done.
finito.
Gone.
Finito.
Vamos.
Mm,
Arrivederci. Ai sakiyaki. I don't know, whatever you want to say. Banish them. Because many of these habits, they start at an early age, right? Maybe you were told that you weren't good enough, right? Maybe you
mm,
feel like you don't deserve good things. Maybe you believe your goal is impossible, but why do you believe that? Did somebody tell you that you weren't good enough? More than likely. Because if you grew up with somebody telling you you are worthy, you are powerful, you are more than enough, you can do all things, you're not going to have the mentality of somebody who don't believe in themselves, because that's not your programming. So whatever your prior programming was by your parents, your teachers, your religious centers, or whatever the case might be, all of those things played a part into what we call your persona. What is a persona? It is a personality. And that personality that you have is who you have become based on the thoughts that you ever adopted as your own, that were handed down to you by somebody else. So the truth is, you're still not being yourself. When you
Right.
are pretending that you're not good enough, take note that I said when you are pretending
Uh,
that you're not good enough, because the truth is you are good enough. Perhaps you might need to add a new skill to be even greater than the good enough that you are. Can you learn a new skill to increase your value? Absolutely. Can you learn how to love yourself to increase the value that you have for yourself? Absolutely. Can you read more books so that you can educate yourself to be on a higher level of consciousness in order to better yourself? Yes, I can, because the more that you pour into you in a positive way, what happens is the negative has to fall out by default. So think
yeah.
about it like this. You gotta, let's say we got a cup, right? This cup is full of mud. I'm running water on top of the cup, right? It's good, it's going. And what's happening? The mud is coming up, it's coming up, coming out. And as I hold the glass there under some hot water for another minute or two, now I no longer see the dirt. The dirt is gone, the mud is gone, and I got a clean glass. This is what has to happen when it comes to your thoughts. You have a whole lot of dirt, and so you got to pour in some white. You got to pour in some water. You got to clean it out, right? In order for whatever is negative and to fall out, you cannot pour into yourself if you're not allowing yourself to be poured into in the right way. You gotta choose you. You gotta say, I know what I'm gonna do. I know I'm gonna change my habits. I know I
Mm-hmm.
used to late, right? I wake up late as heck. Why do I wake up so late? You start asking yourself why you wake up late, because there's something inside of you that does not want you to prosper. There's something inside of you that's still trying to hinder your success. You want to know what it's called? Ego. It wants to
Mm-hmm.
keep you small. And so the more that you let it take the lead,
Yeah.
it's going to lead until you be the person to redirect it. I don't want to keep talking. I got a couple more to give y'all, which would be like forgive yourself, forgive others, and forgive yourself. Explore the sources of your negative thoughts. Explore the sources of that self doubt. It may dread up a painful experience from the past. And if you are still in resentment from something that somebody did or said to you, now would be the time to forgive. We in spring cleaning. That was winter. Whatever they
Right.
was a cold winter. They did what they did. Honey, we are
Right.
springing forward unless you choose to fall back.
Yeah, with forgiveness comes accountability, because the reason why we are in those situations because we allowed ourselves to be there. So first, it's like you have to take into account. Listen, I got myself into this
So true.
situation. For, like you said, forgive yourself,
Yes.
and then it's like, okay, now you have to understand too and have empathy, because a lot of times with forgiveness comes empathy. That's the only way we're able to forgive, because we have to look at it from that person's perspective as well. So when you start to have
Right.
empathy for the other person and be like, you know what? I can see, even though they're not understanding where I'm coming from, I understand where they're coming from. And that allows me
I
to move.
understand.
I understand and I overstand. Okay. Because when you know better,
Right.
you do better. So it's like, okay,
You do better.
listen,
That's right.
you don't have to wait for those people to heal. You gotta heal. You gotta be in your best. You gotta
Right.
get. I don't know what you believe in, but you just gotta cast that over to something else. You gotta throw it away. You gotta give it to
Absolutely.
somebody else to handle, and you don't have to handle it anymore. You don't take on those battles. It's time for us
That's
to
right.
be ladies and be soft and feminine. We don't need to be out here bucking against any masculine energy. Okay, we
Right.
utilize, if you want to be a CEO, that's how you use that masculine energy when you're working in that field. But it's like, remain a lady. Don't fight them battles, honey. You give it to somebody else. I give
Yes.
mine to God, honey.
And no, that's so true. And guys, you know what? Once you've identified that source, right, of those self-defeating patterns, the mindset, the habits, right? Once you defeat those and you begin replacing those habits, those thoughts, those beliefs, even when it comes to forgiveness, sometimes you don't want to forgive because you feel like what they did was just so bad. But what you never ask yourself, how did it get to that? What happened to them before they got to you that actually caused
Mm,
them to behave that way? So
right.
because you're addressing your own selfish, so to speak,
Yeah.
reasons of why this person needs to be this particular way in order for it to be okay. Listen to what you're asking. You're saying, I need you to behave like this so that I can be okay.
mm,
It don't go like that. I choose to be okay regardless because I understand, and I understand where you are. I'm not coming for you because I don't want to pass judgment against you because I don't know your full story. Who am I? This the other night when I did a thing with. Here's the thing, guys. Right? You don't. Wouldn't it be nice if you could tell somebody how to love you? If you could just tell them like, listen, this is how you love me. You bring me this, you do this, you do that, and you do this. This is how you love me, right? And they just listen. That would be beautiful, right? But the truth is, it doesn't happen that way. The way
right.
that it happens is you get to see how that person loves, and then you get to decide whether that's something that you want to continue to be a part of or not. So you
Can I
don't
interject
get
this? Because I love that. I love that. I love that thought you gave. Can I interject? So
absolutely,
you get to
absolutely.
see. And no, but to add to what you're saying, because I want to piggyback what off you're saying, because I'm not playing devil's
Please
advocate. I
do.
actually agree. I agree. I agree with what you're saying. At the same time, I look at it from a perspective of sometimes you can meet someone, and if they're open and they don't know you or know how to love you, you could teach them how to love you and give them that choice. Now, if they don't adhere
They're
to
not
what you,
open.
yeah, they're not open to that. Like you said, it would be so nice to get somebody. But if somebody's open to your love language and they're doing it because they like, I want you and I want to do what makes you happy, I think that's cool too. I think that's
It
cool too because
is.
sometimes nobody's ever gonna walk in with the manual. They ain't gonna come in with Takia Diamond's book, honey. They're not gonna come
Not.
in. So, but a person that is a person that is willing, open, and able, I think that give it a shot. If listen, if they're not willing to do it, then it's like, hey, on to the next.
Then you have to. Then you're forced to kind of let it go. But I
Right.
definitely want to piggyback off of what Phrase is saying
Yes.
because there are people do bad things, but you have to think about what during what time of their life, if that was. It could have been something that they did to you back when y'all was like 21, 20. Now y'all like 40, 50, and you still holding on to what that person.
Yes.
Stop playing with me. That person, especially if it's a man. At 21, he was still 14. He was still 14, trying to figure, smelling himself, his little balls a little wet, whatever's going on, he's trying to figure his life out. So why am I going to be mad at something that this person
Right.
did back when I was
Years ago.
22?
Right. Hmm.
For what? I can forgive you for what you didn't have awareness of. Now, as
Right.
you get older, if you still acting like the same little 14-year-old, then guess what? I'm going to
Girl.
forgive you, but I'm going to also forget about
A
establishing. We can't even be
relationship.
friends.
Right.
We can't be friends because your mentality is not there. I can forgive you, and I
Right.
can, you know, be okay with the fact that just the way that it was back then. But if you show me that you know what you really like, you just said like I really want this. I'm willing to make the necessary changes. I'm gonna do better. And if you notice that's taking place, then go for it. It could be sometimes you have to understand, guys, that people have to go and grow through things before they become who they become. Ain't nobody
Right.
come out at 21 knowing all these adult lessons. We were
Yeah.
still thinking high school and yeah, Sasha boyfriend talking to Jamie and all that kind of stuff, right? But come on now. as the Bible says, as I get older, what I put away childish things, right?
Yes.
I put away childish things. What's that? How the verse go for you?
It was
When I was
girl,
a child.
I thought as a child.
When I was a child, I did things as a child.
Uh-huh.
And when I grew up, I put away childish things. Something to that nature.
Yeah.
Y'all know I'm trying to say.
It's the lamest terms version, honey. It's the lamest term. As a child, I thought as a child I did child things, and when I got older, I put away those childish things. So that's basically what it is, you know. So, but I definitely agree.
Yes.
I think like going off of what you're saying, like if you're still acting the same way that you were acting, in your 20s, then that's blocking your emotional well-being. So they got to go. Like you said, I can't even be your friend. You said I can't even be your friend.
Right. Lack of emotional maturity. You ain't know nothing about no love, especially as the dude. You ain't know nothing about that. So how am I gonna hold you hostage for something that almost every man out here go through it? I mean, it's a very small amount who don't go through the childish zone. They all end up going. They gotta go through the childish zone.
We're all learning. We're all learning.
Unless they have.
We all come from different.
Unless they have a mother. Unless they have a mother like me or Phrase, where we speak life to our boys.
Right.
We educate our boys on how to treat people properly, so that at his young age he does not involve himself with the distraction, which is the next thing that affects your emotional well-being.
Yeah.
Distractions. Y'all gotta understand, it ain't just your phone that's a distraction. It's your thoughts.
Yeah.
Your thoughts are a distraction. Your thoughts, you have a bad habit of negative thinking. So distractions, you have to realize that, let's say you're working on your project and you getting things done. All of a sudden, somebody decides to call you and you get distracted. And then you stay on the phone with them for an hour, knowing that you was just about to take action on your goal. Let me tell you the truth. Your brain just channeled for that person to come and interrupt you. You wanna know why? Because you keep saying, I can't never get nothing done. Every time I try to get something done, somebody call me. But why is that happening? Because you perhaps have not set boundaries. Let's go deeper. That will affect your emotional well-being. Lack of boundaries. If you do not set the stopping point, people are going to always keep pushing past your pushing point. They're going to keep pushing you. Why? Because you let them. You let them. So you're teaching people how it's okay to distract you, even if it's for 20 minutes. And me, I really had a hard time with boundaries to a certain extent, because I have this empathetic, compassionate heart. And I have a tendency to not want to see people suffer. And I also have an understanding that a lot of people really just don't have anybody to talk to. And because there's nobody to even just listen to them, sometimes they do things to themselves because they feel like nobody cares. And this being the person that I am, and being the person that I am, I had a hard time with setting boundaries. But it's like I literally had to. And so sometimes I may come off as cold when it comes to my boundaries, but I'm not being cold at all. I'm literally just being stern in what I know is going to take me away from what I deserve, what I desire, what I prefer. If that distraction could wait till later, listen, babe, we could talk about that later. Right now, I need to focus on writing this book. Right now, I need to focus on what I'm doing. Right now, I need to record my podcast. Right now, I need to write this song. Right now. But if you want to talk about that later, we can. See, this is communication. A lot of times, if you communicate the whole thing with your distraction, if you have somebody that still be distracted towards you after you set the boundaries and you tell them, then You might
And
have
it's
to cut.
adding to what you're saying. Adding to what you're saying, it's agreeing. Like you said, right now I'm working on this. Right now I'm working on that. Like you had a list of things. Now, from you being that person and setting your boundaries, they are now seeing, like, look at my friend. This is why she's so balanced. This is why she is the way she is. Maybe I need to be more like that. We may not be in the same category, but maybe I need to be
Right.
moving, keeping myself busy. And so right now, I won't be distracting her. And right now, I won't be feeling like, and I can put myself in a space where I can go to a
Yes.
counselor, like go to a counselor, like, and just to share with you guys, that's something that I did. That was something I did. I went and got myself a counselor. My friends even suggested, they said, have you thought of? There are some people, even in the African American community, who think that
Yes.
counseling is something we don't do because you're going to be deemed as crazy. What I'm here to tell you is that speaking to a counselor is like speaking to my mother or speaking to my friend, except for I'm not pouring that energy on them. I'm pouring it into somebody who's actually just going to sit there and listen, because sometimes when you're speaking, you don't want people to interject or bother you. You just want to pour out and get your words out. Sometimes you don't even want a response. They will stay on the phone and they're not going to tell you how to live your life. They may offer some options of things that can keep you focused, tell you to go, hey, have you thought about, give you suggestions, have you thought about going to the gym? Oh yeah, I used to go to the gym. Well, maybe you might want to look into that. I heard of this or what have you. And then they talk to you again. What have you done
Yes.
since the last time we spoke? Oh, I got into the gym. Oh, that's good. Yeah, I met this girl there. Blah blah blah. We started to click. Like your life, they see your life growing and prospering and you getting back to the you that you need to be. So then that way you won't even have to
Yes.
to them anymore. You might be hitting them up with a thank you letter saying, thank you so much for being in my life and being a person I can listen to. And then we put so much stress and pile so much on the people that are actually in our lives that is draining them. Let's listen. If you're behind,
That's
got to
very
get,
true.
now I don't
You
suggest to get
guys,
medication. But if you got to get medication, get your medication. I didn't have to get medication,
right.
but it doesn't make it any better. But God put things on this earth to help people. Just listen, do everything decently and in order. Don't abuse whatever it is that you're trying to do. Even a counselor, don't sit there and look at the counselor for help. Sometimes you got to pull away, cut that cord, and say, I'm gonna go out here in life and
Yep.
life on. You can't hold on to that counselor forever, but you can check in from time to time if you feel the need to. All right, but that's all I had to say. I'm sorry, sis. You got me riled up
Yep.
because you
That's
had me hyped about what you were saying.
no, that's
We
okay.
going
No, I was just going to say that to be mindful if you're the person who is the distraction. Pay
mm,
attention to when it's you, because it's very easy for you to be like, okay, damn, I need. But how often do you actually go to this person and you're always pulling them away from themselves because they feel like they have to be there for you? They don't want to feel bad about being there for you. One thing that phrase said that was very, very good and meaningful to me is being a listener. Not everybody wants an answer. Sometimes people just really need to process all of this stuff that they've been going through. That doesn't mean that you just be a dumping ground. You can say, all right, babe, I heard enough. Okay, you can't say that, but at the same token, I mean, don't ever be a total dumping ground. But at the same token, you may discover something that you thought you knew when you had it all wrong. Just because you thought you knew when you didn't even just give them an opportunity to hear. I mean, give yourself an opportunity to hear what it is that they have to say, because if you can see something from somebody else's perspective, it's a possibility that it may actually alter yours for the better. It may also
mm,
release some of the doubts and the shame and the regrets and the all of those emotions that you have inside of yourself, because maybe somebody didn't apologize, or maybe you didn't get the closure that you were looking for, whatever the
Mm,
case might be. You're not in control of those things, but you're in control of yourself. If you don't get the closure that you need from someone else, I need you to remember that the closure happens for you. But also be
mm.
open to hear if that person shows up and they want to share with you. Don't go judging them like, no, let me tell you what you did. Because you did. I mean, to me, that's erotic to me. How do you want to come to a solution? You want to come to peace, but yet you're already prepared to chop somebody's head off. I'm not doing that. I'm going to hear you out unless you give me a reason to chop
Yeah.
your head off. And guess what? Even after I chop your head off, I'm going to be
I'm
so
done.
proud of you that I love you anyway. And all my friends know this about me. TK, she may if you strike a chord, she gonna say what she gonna speak her mind. She's gonna tell the truth when she speaks her mind. Her
Yeah.
truth may be a little brutally honest when she speaks her mind, but
Right.
she's gonna do that. But my friends will tell you, after I speak my mind, it doesn't matter who you are. I'm even afterwards. I'm telling you, I'm sorry if it felt like I'm coming down on you, but I want more
Right.
for you. I feel like you deserve more, and I feel like you're settling. So
Mm,
forgive me if I seem upset. I'm upset and I'm frustrated because I believe that you're worth so much more, and I'm upset that you can't see that for yourself. So let me be statue for about 2-3 minutes. I'll survive.
uh,
I'll
but
calm
that's a
down,
different type.
and I'll
But that's
along
a
with.
different type of mad. That's a different type of mad. That's a mad like you're upset because you want them to be a better person. You're not like, hey, let me tell you about yourself kind of situation. Let me hold this grudge against you. It's like, no, I
Right.
want you to be a better person. So, like, even with the people that are holding on to grudges, by the time you heal, once you get the healing for yourself, you're not going to care to tell the person what they did to you. You'll be so over it.
You're not.
It's nothing that needs to be discussed. You're just be a listening ear for them to get their stuff off. Okay, you got your stuff off. Okay, so where did we move from here now? We don't have to be
Where do
friends.
we go from here?
Where do we go from here now?
Right.
Is it in peace? And you go your way and I could still go my way. We don't have to really, I mean, we could be
Right.
cordial when we
We don't have to
it
be
doesn't have
enemies.
to,
Here's my thing.
yeah, we don't have to be
I don't
enemies, but we can have that peace knowing there's
I
no
don't
cloud
need enemies.
over us. You got out what you needed to say, and I got out what I needed to say. Like,
And
oh
you
my
gotta think
goodness.
about it. For me, I say for me, I got enough hidden enemies. I don't need to know. I don't need to know the real ones. It's enough of
Yeah.
them in the background that I don't even know about. I don't even know you, and whatever it is that you feel. But whatever you feel about me is only because you see something in me that you won't allow yourself to be. And when you
Mm,
allow yourself to be what you see in me, I'm just another you. That's it.
uh,
I'm a vessel. I got a brain just like you. I got a heart just
woo.
like you. I program my mind and I program the emotions in my heart so that I got brain and heart coherence. And because I have brain and heart coherence, that's the reason why my life looks the way that it does. Because nobody gave me anything. I gave myself the gift of mental consciousness, of stability, stable thinking, and positive thinking and empowering thinking, and allow myself to feel amazing in my heart, even when I'm hurt, even when somebody hurts me, or well, again, it's not even about them hurting me because they ain't hurt me. They hurt my expectations.
Mm,
They broke my. Nobody breaks your heart.
wow.
They break your expectation of what you thought they
Oh
were
wow.
supposed to be or do.
That's deep.
Let's go.
That's deep. That's
They
deep.
ain't break your heart. So you more so got to come to the point where it's like, you know what? I know that I can't change anybody. The only thing that I can do is be an example of what's possible for somebody else. And if I can do that and you decide to join me, great. If not, it's all right. I mean, I wish you the best on whichever route you decide to take. I just know where I'm going. And I'm not going to hold on to anything that's going to gonna hold me back or hold me down because I'm emotionally weighed down behind somebody else. I cannot do that. My purpose is too big to be focused on small-minded people. I cannot do it.
Mm. Boundaries. You sound like you got a lot of boundaries, sis. Going into the next the next question. What is some good what are some good self-care practices?
Okay, so we went through all right. We briefly talked about doing meditation, right? Yoga. Now, one of my favorite things to do is just be still. Is to literally just be present. And you want to know why? Because when you're present, there is no distractions. When you're present, there is no problem. And when you're present, you also know that the issue is already being solved. See, when you are interacting too much with something that kind of already has a solution to it, you literally put yourself in like this whirlwind of things that will cause it to go the opposite way. But if I'm in the present moment, and I'm gonna ask you guys to even just do this with me too, we can do this 5 minutes. And what I want you to do is don't think, just feel. And what I want you to do is just close your eyes. I want you guys to take 3 deep breaths in, breathe in, hold it for about 5 seconds. Breathe out. Breathe in again through your nose. Hold it. And breathe out. And one more deep breath in. Hold it. And breathe out. Now, with your eyes closed, I want you to just simply be. If thoughts come into your mind, just let them pass and bring your attention back to your heart. And I want you to just take your right hand and place it over your heart. And I want you to just breathe naturally and just feel the beat of your heart. Don't think much of it. Oh my God, my heart is beating. Nothing. Just feel it. Be present with it. And look at all of the beauty that's happening inside of your body unconsciously. Your blood is flowing. Your organs are pumping. Your small intestine and large intestine are working to digest whatever you put in your body. All of these things are happening while you're focusing on everything outside of you. There's an amazing infinite intelligence within you. So be present with that. Don't think. Just feel. And I want you to just see the blank screen on your mind. And in this blank screen, what I want you to do is I'm going to have you declutter. And as you keep your hand over your heart, I want you to ask yourself, what thoughts, feelings, and emotions am I holding on to that is limiting my emotional well-being? What stories and who told me? Where did I learn this behavior from? To spaz out, to act out, to be upset, to not get my work done, to procrastinate, to feel shameful, to feel doubtful. Who taught me this? Who told me I wasn't good enough? Who told me that that's not going to work? Who told you that you're not supposed to do that? But they have no idea what you've been called here to do. And just hear the answers. What is it that higher self wants you to know? Or what is it that little girl or that little boy version of yourself wants you to know that you can let go of now? Was it the way that mom yelled at you? Was it the way that dad said that you're not supposed to cry? You're not man enough if you're crying, which is all wrong. You're a human being. You have emotions. These are all beliefs. And what I want you to do right now is I want you to choose to let them go. So I want you to repeat after me. All of these feelings that I have, all of the doubts, all of the fears, all of the uncertainties that are causing an imbalance in my well-being. Can I let this go? And I want you to respond to yourself and say, yes, I can. The next question that I want you to ask yourself is, will I let this go? And I want you to respond, yes, I will let it go. And on the last question, I want you to think about all of the things that came up in your mind that is hindering you from having the ultimate emotional well-being for yourself. All of this sadness, all of this hurt, all of this depression, all of this uncertainty, all of this shame, all of this doubt, fears, this everything that is in the way. When will I let this go? And I want you to respond to yourself and say, I let this go now. And I want you to repeat it 5 times until you feel the energy of whatever that emotion was. Think of the emotion. I'm angry. Not I'm angry. I feel angry. I feel upset. And can I let my feelings of anger go? Yes, I can. Can I let my feelings of disappointment go? Yes, I can. Will I let my feelings of resentment, hurt, disappointment go so that I can balance my own well-being? Yes, I will. And where will I let these imbalances go? I let them go now. Deep breath in. Hold it. Release. I let them go now. Breathe in again. Let it out. Check in. Any other remaining feelings that you didn't mention? All of this hurt. Repeat it again. All this hurt. This pain. The betrayal. The resentment. The hurt. The y'all think about it. Y'all think about the emotions. When will I let this go? I let it go now. I let it go now. And I let it go now. Now take one deep breath in. Hold it for about 5 seconds. And I want you to see everything that was hindering you leaving your state of consciousness, just leaving your mind, leaving your body. Every cell of your body, all of energies, because anger is an energy, resentment is an energy, frustration is an energy, doubt is an energy. So let it go on a cellular level now. And on the count of three, open up your eyes. One, taking a deep breath in, coming up and out. Two, feeling better and better and a little more energized. And three, open up to wide into the sky and come back in the comments and let me know how you feel. And so it is.
I feel so good about that, sis. Period. Period. And I was in the background with my hand over my heart, honey, breathing in. And I was actually, I think that's a really good exercise because as I was breathing in and trying to think of the things that I'm holding on to, there was nothing but clear space for me. So I could tell that I'm in a better
That means
space
you
in my life.
work.
Yeah.
That means
I
you
feel
good.
good. I, yeah. The only thing I really thought about.
It's okay. That's what we're here for, to address it. What is it? What was it that came up? It's okay. Because you can let me teach you. I'm gonna help you let it go right now. And vulnerability is everything because that's what they need. The people who we serve, they need our vulnerability. They need us to say, yeah, I've been hurt before. They need us to say, yeah, I felt confused. Yeah,
I'm just,
I
I'm
lacked
just
confidence.
I'm happy. I'm just happy right now. I'm just really happy right now. And it was a time in my life where I couldn't even cry for a good reason, Like I'm just so happy right now in my life. I thank God for the space I'm in, the people that I have, the transformation in my life, people like that know what has transpired in my life and how much I've grown and how much I forgive now and how much just where I'm walking. The only thing I could think about right now was my child. The only thing that I could think about right now was my baby because he just like I need to be in a healthy space. It's very important for us. I'm going to put this out. It's very important for us as people. Oh Lord, thank you God. It's very important for us as people to be in a healthy space, especially if we have children. The way that we
Yes.
are can affect them, our trauma, our triggers. It is best that we do the inner work, the outer work, in order for their lives to be better. I do not want my child to grow up
Yes.
being confused, emotionally confused. So at some point in your
I
life, like
agree.
I've just been praying for emotional intelligence. So I'm just grateful for the space I'm in because I don't hold nothing. And it feels so good to say that. It feels so good to say that at some
Yes.
point when I just really resented and I blamed and I did this and I did that. Like it was so much. I was so hurt. I was so confused. Yet
I get it.
I
I get it.
understand. I understand now. I understand. I overstand. I understand. It's all there. Like I'm there. I'm there. I'm present. I'm praying that I be more present
Yes.
because now with being a businesswoman, you just want to make sure like while you're walking in your destiny, you don't take away no time from your child, like the time that's needed, the present time that's needed. So that's just the only thing I could think about right now, making sure that I'm a balanced mother. That's the only thing that's on my mind right now.
Yes. And you know what? That's a beautiful thing because without your balance, you can't teach them how to become balanced beings. And the thing is like when they start to go to school and they start to interact with other kids, your imbalance is going to show in their work, in their performance, and things that's happening with them. So we have to say, I love myself enough because my child is a part of me. So even though certain things may not have worked out the way that I would have preferred them to, they actually worked for me because these were the things that I needed in order to grow myself. These are the things that I need to I said, the even bigger love than me thinking that I need to, guys, this is no judgment, no hate, no disrespect. But when you have this feeling that you need, that you think you need to love somebody else outside of yourself more than you love you, and if it is not your child, that's a problem, and it's codependency. You are codependent on that person feeding you either that negative emotion or positive emotion. It's so much deeper. Guys, what I've done for this live, for those people who have tuned in or who are watching it back, whether you're on YouTube or not, I put together a 7-day challenge to really help you guys change your mindset so that you can do a self-image makeover. This is all about you changing how you see yourself. How you see yourself is a reflection of what your finances look like, what your relationships look like, what your work life looks like. It's all about how I'm feeling within here. That's a reflection of what I'm experiencing out there. So I have to love me enough to say, now it's time for me to spring forward. And this challenge is free $99. You have no excuse not to show up for something that has the ability to transform your mind and your emotional well-being when it comes to your brain, your business, and your bank account forever. I hope our interview has helped you guys, encouraged you. Toy, you want to finish and close out? I don't know if you're done with me.
Yes. No, like I have so many questions, but I actually want to turn this into a part 2.
No,
Because
we can. As I was about to say, we could either keep going or back because I'm for it. I want to answer all the questions. I don't want to leave no question unanswered because there's people out here who are got the same questions and they scared to ask.
and that's
They
what
scared to.
and I agree. I want to ask one more question because I do have a lot of questions for you, but I actually want to turn this into a series
No, give him
because I feel like this is something that's needed.
I just know that, and I didn't know show.
No,
Go
it's all
ahead.
good. So
Come on.
I'm going to ask you another question because I have a lot of questions for you, but I actually think it will be important to turn it into a series, and break up the show because if we
Okay.
have it too long, sometimes the way us as people are, attention spans can be shorter than usual. Not all, but a
I'll
lot.
come
So
back. You just tell me when this type of stuff I will do.
No. We're gonna like, you know what? I think that this will be able to help them, and then I would also like for you guys to add your questions as well. We're gonna add that to our next segment. I'm a mental health advocate, and I want to
Yes.
continue this with my sister Takia. I want to be able to continue what we're doing because, like, honestly, I really feel like
Yes,
you just
you're gonna
like,
continue to do it.
yeah, I think that you really opened up a channel in my brain today. You just activated something, and I hope that it does the same for other people. But like, I'm going to have a closeout
Yes.
question, and then we're going to have you close out, and I want to be able to
Sure.
bring you back in to finish up the rest of these questions because we're
I'm with
digging
it.
deep.
When we
We're
coming back
digging.
next Wednesday? Next
Hey, how
Wednesday?
about?
Wanna do it next
I mean,
Wednesday?
we could do. Let's
Okay.
do. We'll figure it out. We'll get it together. I want you on the next show. But
We'll
we have
figure
a
it out.
ladies.
Let me know.
Yeah, we have ladies'
And
night
we can do
coming
it.
up.
We can do it.
For ladies' night too.
Right. It's well, today starts Women's Month, right?
Well,
March
yeah, this
1st.
is Women's Month. Yeah, so so
So
happy.
I'll be
Um,
here. I'll be here.
so I want you to have the ladies' night, but I actually want to continue what we're doing. I think I want to make this a thing where we come
I'm
on
with
and
it.
you have your segments. And I do appreciate you for being a part of
Okay.
my family and now the whatever you say podcast family because I think you're definitely needed for this.
So what was your other question you had for me?
Yes. Okay. So we're gonna. The last question is going to be, how can we break bad habits and start to create good habits? Because we recognize
Okay.
them,
So
but how can we break it?
all right. So the first thing is identifying the bad habit. This all you gotta get in the 7-day challenge because we're gonna knock all of this stuff out, right?
Yeah.
So with the question being, How can we break bad habits and start to create good habits? The first thing you need to know is you have to identify what your habits are. Not only that, do you need to identify the habits? More importantly, you need to identify where they came from. Because once you have an understanding and an understanding that a lot of the habits that you have didn't come from you and they were passed down to you, it would be a lot easier for you to release the habit because you'll realize I'm acting like my father, but I'm acting like my cousin. I'm acting like my best friend. I'm acting. If you notice how they, what do they say? You become the people, the most five people around you. You become like them. And if you notice, sometimes you start laughing like the people around you, or maybe you never used to drink, and all of a sudden you find yourself picking up a cup like, oh, it's just a beer. You know, the habits get passed down, right? But more importantly, not only do physical habits get passed down, your thinking habits get passed down. All right. So how do you break the pattern? Is you identify it first. And when you identify it, you take a look at what is the opposing belief to that particular habit, right? So for example, if I have a belief that money don't grow on trees, so to speak, right? Because that's one of the beliefs, right, that people have. Money don't grow on trees, right? If I have this, but you know what? Let me see. Let me try to keep it in the emotional realm. I have a belief that I can't of
Breaking up.
chances are when somebody comes to me with a love offer, I'm automatically going to shut it down because I have a habit of not allowing myself to be loved, of not allowing myself to be supported, right? When I'm not asking for the help, how do you break a habit? You break the habit by asking for the support that you need in regards to that habit, right? So, for example, let's say, make a decision to overcome it, regardless of what it is. I got a whole list that's running through my mind that I can give y'all. But
Just
the
one
bottom
example.
line is
Yeah.
the bottom line is noticing the habit, discovering where the habit came from, and making a decision to disable the habit. Now, here's the thing: the habit can very easily be enabled over again. So here is where you come in, and you have to make a sound and solid decision and ask yourself, if I continue this habit, what is it costing me to continue this habit? If I have a habit, if I have a habit of negative thinking, then what is costing me to continue to think negative is my obviously my mind is imbalanced. Another thing is costing me money because now I'm buying food and I'm buying clothes and I'm doing things at shopping and stuff like that, basically to suppress my stress, right? Now this ain't something that I would do because I don't think like this. But I
Right.
understand that these are the things that people do. They go and spend money, they binge eat, they
Right.
gamble, they
Right.
do things because they feel like those are the only things that they feel like they have control over in their lives. I got control over eating because you know what? At the end of the day, I just eat. I'm in control. It tastes good. It makes me feel good. So I'm going to just do it. And then later you suffer. So how do you stop that? It's because you realize if I do this, it's costing me my health. When I eat bad or when I overeat or when I get stressed and I just do these things just to take my mind off of those things, I'm not helping me. It's costing me to do that because if I even if I don't pay for it now, I'm gonna pay later. If you drink too much, chances are you're going to be drunk. You're going to pay later. If you eat too many bad foods, chances are you're going to end up with diabetes or cancer or whatever the case may be. Those are the consequences. That's what it's costing you in order for you to continue to do the things that you do. So you have to make a complete, solid, and sound decision that what I want for myself, I want my results more than I want to keep the failures that I continuously been allowing myself to experience. I want growth more. Here's the thing. Your desire to change must be greater than your desire to stay the same. Repeat after me. Your desire to change must be greater than your desire to stay the same. That is how you're going to change it. Because if your habit has more of a hold on you than you have a hold on your habit, then you're in trouble. But if you can look at this habit and you can say, I can see where this would lead me, and since I'm going to go that way, I'm going to discipline myself to know that I love me more than enough to continue to allow myself to keep paying for the same mistakes that I've already made 1,000 times. I'm not going to keep continuing to pay for the same mistake that I paid for. That's like paying taxes twice. That's like I pay my taxes when I go to the store, and then it's time for me to do my taxes, and they tell me I got to pay taxes again on taxes that I already paid, on money I already spent. Y'all understand? So the thing is that you have to really, really make a choice to overcome it. You have to truly, truly choose that I'm going to have a belief in myself that I'm going to do what it takes, not because somebody else wants me to do it, but because I owe it to me. Nobody don't owe me what I owe myself. I owe me my prosperity. I owe me my level of consciousness, my higher level of consciousness. I owe that to me. And so if I choose not to give that to myself, then I can't fault nobody else for not raising the bar. It's not their job to raise their bar in order for me to cope. I gotta raise my bar. When I raise my bar, those people who are beneath me will end up raising their bar, or they will disappear. Those things, those habits that I have, most of the time those habits are coming from other people you're around me. So if I'm seeing myself having these habits based on the people I'm around, then I need to get rid of the people that I'm around so I could drop the habit. I'm going to leave it at that.
Preach. In the quiet say. In the church say, amen. 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 And I just want to give you your roses, sis, because let me tell you something. For those that know you, a lot of people won't even know unless they're like really close in your circle if anything is ever going on in your life, because even through the bad, you still hold a smile on your face. Okay.
Yeah.
And you release things quickly. I mean, you allow yourself to be present. Hey, I'm gonna give you a piece of my mind, but I'm not holding on to that piece that I gave you. I gave you the piece.
Right.
It doesn't mean I hate you because I gave you that piece. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And as I'm getting older, and what happens is a lot of times you meet people who are not emotionally intelligent. You can't speak your mind and have you closed off to think that you got to close your mouth. You have to be a certain way.
Yep. And that's why, because they're afraid. Mm-hmm. And I was going to say, why is that? It's because they're afraid that they're going to be attacked. Most people, they don't want to say what they have to say because they feel like somebody is going to reject them or tell them that they wrong or whatever the case may be. See, me,
yeah.
I'm not going to reject nobody. Me, I'm not going to reject you. Because guess what? Your actions will allow you to reject yourself. I forgive you for anything that you've done. Do you deserve a second chance? Maybe.
Maybe not.
Right? Maybe. And right, maybe not. Right? But
to be in my life though. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Exactly. But if I know that there is a benefit of us coming together to create something great in the world as a unity, then I'm going to brush my shoulders off. Because at the
Right.
end of the day, holding on to a grudge, that's not my soul. That is my ego. I don't have time to hold on to grudges.
Right.
What people do things, you just do them. Only thing I'm gonna do is call you out for your issues, Nick. I'm gonna call you out,
Mhm.
and I'm gonna leave it alone. I'm not gonna keep bringing it up. I'm not gonna keep saying, "Oh, you doing this, you did this, you did that." I'm not gonna keep doing that. I'm gonna say what it is, and I'm gonna be done with it. I'm gonna allow you to say what you need to say, and I'm still gonna be done with it.
Right.
Right?
Right.
Because
Right.
I love me. I'm not about to waste my energy. I'm not about to drop my frequency to drop down to your level so that I lose what I'm working hard on. Maybe you don't got nothing to work hard for. Maybe you don't got nothing to live for. So you wake up every morning not knowing what you want to do for that day, and that's the reason why you don't get up early to even take
Mm.
advantage of the
Mm.
task of you, because you don't know. You don't have
You don't
no
know
plan.
plan for your life. You just living.
No plan. And since you don't have no plan, that's why you want everybody to sleep late with you. You want everybody to lay down when you lay down. No, I got to work. I got work to do. My mind is running. My mind is creating. My mind is creating something that I need to help me to expel this gift to share with other people. Is not for me. Are you riding
Right.
with me or not? That's all I want to know. Are we on
Right.
the same team? And if you're gonna be my ally, that's cool too. Let me know so I could just keep you over there and I could continue on prospering and progressing over this way.
Mm.
My
Mm.
boundaries are strong, and I realize that. But I realize that my boundaries are strong because I've tolerated so much
Yeah.
from other people by just having this beautiful heart. It's like sometimes people have the expectation that because you have a beautiful heart that it's okay to walk all over you.
Right.
It's not okay to walk all over me. It's not okay to walk all over you, and it's not even okay to walk all over them, even if they twisted, busted, and disgusted. My job is to raise myself up to make sure that I'm on the right track. Allow you to see me be on the right track and make a decision that I want to get on the right track where she at and join me so we can all be on the right track together. You know,
Yeah, I
that's
agree.
for
I
that's for you.
agree. I agree. I think that like once eventually, like because of the space that we come from, and where our mindsets are, we're the kind of person like even if you did do something wrong in our sight, we can definitely like say hi to you. We could see you years from now and be like, hey, how are you doing? And hold on that resentment.
Right,
And the thing is, like, I got to a point in my life where I was just like you said, you have to forgive and you can move on. You don't have to sit here, even
right.
if people are not trying to make amends with you, whatever your scenario might be in your life, you still have to live. Even if you don't have
Yes,
a career choice and aspire to be something that's in the media or what have you, in the arts or whatever field, maybe you're inspired to be an at-home mom. The thing is, or to be a wife, be the best wife you can be the
right.
best mom you can be very present. And what we're saying
That
is
will be me.
present, find, be very present. And whatever you're in, be very
I
present
said
in whatever you're in.
that will be me.
Right,
Now I said that will be me in the future. I will be the best wife that
right.
I can be. But
Speak
I'm
it.
gonna be the best wife for the best husband that
Husband,
he could
right,
be. You get
right,
me? That's the thing. And guess what? I'm all right with helping him become that. I'm all right with helping
right.
him become
Because
that because
that's
he
what
may
we
not
are.
know. He
Yeah,
may
because
not
that's
ever
what we
came across a woman like me before, right? So I'm gonna help him do
are.
that. Then guess what? It's a whole league of other amazing men who would love to have someone like me to call their wife to help them keep their head straight, accomplish their
Uh-oh.
dreams,
A
not
husband out
emasculate them.
there for the girl. Mhm. Listen, this show is going to be on my
Girl.
this show has been on my platform for some years now. So listen, listen, shoot your shot, y'all. Shoot your shot. You see her name.
I'm just saying.
She said, I just say ain't no ring on my finger. She said, ain't no ring on my finger, you ain't going on my gram. Okay.
After all, the name of the show is Whatever You Say, right?
Honey, we've had some discussions. We're gonna have some more discussions. And I just want to thank you and give you your roses and thank you again for being on the show today. I don't have any physical roses. I see some behind you, so you can grab them. But I definitely want to thank you for being on the show and for giving your insight and placing some gems. For the ones who are watching right now, you can always go back and watch this on YouTube and Facebook. It's Whatever You Say podcast. Look at the logo right there. You can find it. And at the end of the week, it will be on Spotify and Apple. We got some
Awesome.
people out here commenting, and it's all good when you are with a good woman. And he said, outstanding advice. And then that's John Jones. And then we got Dr. Love Jones. Look, we got a John Jones.
Dr. Love Jones. You need Dr. Love Jones on here.
Oh, he was on the show twice. He's been on the show twice. Mm-hmm. Yeah. He's gonna be on some further shows. Anybody? Yeah. Dr. Love, he said peace of love, coach. Yeah, like you're his coach. I remember when he first started getting his book together and everything like that. So it's amazing to see people growing who like testimonies of people who you have coached over the years. And I can give a testimony as well. Like I've been to a few meetings. I've been around you. I've even did like camera work, just things that I've been around you, like the things that you have placed inside of me, the free information that people is paying for. I appreciate you for the love and light that you have constantly given to me in my life. And it's a testament to a part of who I am today. So I appreciate you, sis. And I just want to let you close out and tell who you are, where they can find you at, and also any closing remarks that you would like to make for the people.
Well, the first thing I want to tell you guys is to make sure that you join the challenge. I am going to put the link inside the comments later for you guys to join the challenge, because this show alone won't cut it by itself to really give you a lot more of the guidance and assistance that you probably need in order to, do some spring cleaning, okay? On your brain, your business, and your bank account. Y'all gotta understand, those are my three things now. Your business, your brain, and your bank account, And I think for as far as where you guys can find me, it is TakiaDiamond.com. That is my website. And I'm going to actually give you guys a phone number right now. I want you guys to pull out your cell phone. I'm going to give you guys a number that I want you to text. And what it's going to do is it is going to give you access to the Spring Clean Money Mindset Makeover Challenge. Not only allow to your money mindset, you're going to literally learn what additional beliefs are in the way that are hindering your success, because nothing is going to change until you make some changes. And that's the honest to God truth. You can say you change all day, but until you make some changes, nothing's going to change. So let me get that phone number for you guys. And that phone number is, what you're going to do is you're going to text the word spring forward. Spring forward. And you're going to text that word to the number 833 873 0227. That number is 833 873 And one word you're going to text spring forward. Okay, so that you can be prepared for that makeover. Now, again, you can find me at my website at takia.com and literally book a session with me. You want to do the one-on-one thing and you want to with me, you want to get to the bottom of your habits, your beliefs, your stories when it comes to your love and your relationships and your businesses and all of that other wonderful stuff, then don't mention that earlier. Guess what? You need to talk to somebody, right? You can't hold it all into yourself. If you hold it all to yourself, it's just a matter of time before you explode. All right. So, talk to somebody, and if I can help you in any way, I would love to be the person to be able to help you. And the last thing that I can get to y'all is if you want to find out more about me, Google me, baby. Google me. TAKRYAH. Diamond like the ring. And guess what? I know that you're going to find some really, really great information that's going, especially on YouTube, guys. Follow my YouTube channel, Takia Diamond. It's going to really help you to shift some things in your life. And if I believe I know about you, you're ready for change. And that's the reason why you're here. So don't say no. Say yes. Say yes to change. Say yes to happiness. Say yes to your well being. Say yes to everything that you desire, deserve, and prefer. Mine's up.
Yes, Chris, can you put that number up there one more time? You said 833.
Yes. That number is 833-873-0227. And you're going to text the word spring forward. One word, spring forward. And once you text that, it's going to give you everything that you need in order to get inside the challenge at no cost. I know ain't nothing free 99 because y'all know I got to charge for this stipulation. You know what I'm saying? I buy money for my 10,000, 20,000. I may not charge 20,000 now. Invest in yourself. You're literally sending a signal to the universe saying that I'm ready to transform. I am going to do whatever it takes for me to get to the bottom of my bullshit so I could get on my good shit. Okay? All
Okay.
right.
Yes. And listen, spring forward, text spring forward to 833-873-0277. And once again, I just want to thank you, sis, for being on the show. And let's give her a hand clap today, y'all. Yes. Wasn't that a
Oh,
show?
We see Kaya made it. Hey, Shakaya.
Wasn't that, oh my goodness, wasn't that a show? Oh my gosh. I just want to thank you all for tuning in to yet another show. I'm going to keep this number up until the end, honey, because listen, for those ones that are trying to spring forward. Oh, listen, good news. I have a website now. It is www.whateveryousaypodcast.com. Yes, go onto the website if you would like to be a guest on the show. We are now taking guests. We have ladies night coming up. There's 3 episodes that's on the website. You'll see it. If you see that you fit or someone else that you know fits, have them send in their submission through www.whateveryousaypodcast.com. Yes, we are handling it that way now, because now it's starting to get to the point where we have a lot of guests that are wanting to be on the show. And shout out to one of my mentors and my coaches, Carita Lugo, who is looking in tonight. And she suggested that I get a website to make things more simpler instead of going out there, being all over the place. Like, you want to work smarter, not harder. And then also go on to www.takiadiamond.com. That's TAKIYAHDIAMOND.com. Make sure y'all go on her website, check her out. Listen, and this is not her last rodeo show around here. Okay. Follow us, like, share, and subscribe. Honey, my babies, my love bugs. Like, share, and subscribe, because when we when we grow together. I just want to continue to keep growing in this platform, and with your help, we can make it happen. So just go over to the YouTube, whatever you say, podcast page, and click on that subscription, baby. Yeah. So once again, listen, be good to yourselves and each other. I got that from Jerry Springer years ago, honey, but that's true. Be good to yourselves and each other. All right. Peace out. Later.